Pull up a chair by the hearth.
Hello and welcome to The Hearth, episode 10. It's the 15th of August, and my name is Christopher Puner. With me this week, I have a Matt Hillman. What up, dude? And an Aiden Frost Rock Arts.
Hey, I'm here.
Hey, girl, hey. Hey.
You just called him a girl. That's weird.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't help it. Sometimes I just kind of slip into that sort of way of speaking to people. I can't. It's not. I don't think you're a girl. You're
speaking to them as if they were women.
You're just my. No, it's like slang term. I don't know. It's like when you refer to somebody like "Hey, girl," like GURL. It's kind of like bro or like dude. It's like in the same vein. But okay. I suppose it is gender specific, and I should probably be more choosy about who I say that stuff to. But
I wonder, is bro gender specific then?
Is dude
just short
gender specific?
I don't think so. I think you can be a dude if you're a girl.
What about man?
Is bro? Yeah, man. What about that one?
I don't really know. I mean, like, man seems very, very clearly, like, male specific.
Welcome to episode 10 of the podcast. I'm your host, Alex Whitehair.
I'm sorry. I am sorry, but this is an important social issue we need to tackle. Because I've been calling women man and dude for a long time. I've never actually stopped to think about the consequences, you know? Like,
I don't think dude is gender specific because it has nothing to do with male or female. It's just a word. But, like, bro is short for brother. And
what about
brother is like, you know, clearly a male thing.
Man is not short for anything. It just means man. I mean, what if it was short for woman?
I mean, I guess it could.
And then, yeah, okay. What about dog? DAWG, is that all right?
This week on Linguists Cast, we have Chris Puner.
We didn't have Frost last week because we did a really weird recording thing where we recorded super early and he was working and
we talked all about World of Warcraft.
Oh my god, so much World of Warcraft. So Frost, before we hop into this show this week, I want to know, as a non-WoW playing person that's played WoW a little itty bitty bit, what are you excited about for Legion? Just
double jump.
Okay, we're on the same level.
All right, so you and everybody else, cool.
I just think it's funny though, like, so I've listened to a lot of people's opinions who have played WoW for the story, for just like playing with friends, just for playing in MMO, and everyone's opinions are kind of all over the place. A lot of people hate it because it's literally fan service, the expansion. But a lot of people love it because, like, it's literally fan service the expansion. They're getting everything they want. So, I mean, apparently, like, lore-wise, it's kind of a little bit fucky. But,
yeah.
I don't know, I'm excited. Any new content's fucking awesome, and I'm happy.
I like how you described it as a little bit fucky, but it is still...
Yeah, people were mad.
It's still a step in the right direction from how, quote, fucky, unquote, Warlords of Draenor was.
Yeah.
Lore-wise.
Right?
No, Illidan's not
kind
dead. No, he's not dead.
You beat
he's
the shit out of
definitely
him.
not now.
No, you kind of, like, kill
now.
him, but you can't kill his soul because his soul is part demon and he wasn't in the Twisting Nether when you killed him.
See what I mean? This is dumb already.
No,
but
this is not dumb because it's not alternate timeline. Don't tell me it's dumb. It's much better. It's much, much better.
Who gives a shit about lore? Basically what we're talking about is garrisons are gone forever. Yay! Now we only have class orders. Yeah!
I'm telling you, man, I told you this before and I'll say it again. It's going to be way better than you think. Way
awesome?
better. What's going to be awesome?
When they have to sell out in, like, next expansion, and then you can play Tauren Demon Hunters. Can't do it yet, but one day, dude.
Two sets of horns. 2 sets of horns.
Oh my god.
Please.
Did you, by the way, watch the reveal trailer where they showed the high mountain Tauren with the moose antlers?
I'm pretty sure I did, yes.
Okay, cool. So I'm really hoping that in character creation, then, they'll let you choose moose antlers now with Tauren.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's
That'd be
happening.
really cool. Oh, no? Can you go to a barbershop and change my horns as a Tauren? I think I can, right?
Yeah, I think you can.
Okay.
I love Tauren. Holy shit.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, that'd be really cool. Anyway,
but I'm pretty sure you're not going to get moose horns. Or moose Whoa,
Moof.
antlers. There we go.
Moof horns.
Moose horn.
What have you been doing the past couple of weeks, Frost? Let's say Hearthstone, Here's the Storm. Did you touch World of Warcraft at all? Like, what you been doing, man?
I've been pretty well only playing Hearthstone. So I don't think we actually mentioned it a couple weeks ago, but Blizzard pretty well said, "Hey, getting anywhere past anywhere from rank 20 to rank 1 is pointless because the rewards are the exact same. You get rank 20 and you get your card back, you get legend, you get the legend card back. Other than that, everything's the exact same." So they decided that based on your rank at the end of the month, you're going to get a bit of dust and a golden card based on your rank. So I'm actually there's actually an incentive for me to grind ranked Hearthstone. So I'm currently grinding it with that. I think I'm rank 9 now. So I'm doing all right, I think. I'm still really, really bad at a lot of classes, but I'm still good at those aggro classes because they're so easy, but I have to play it now because I need that sick dust. And I've really just been saving all my gold for TGT, the Grand Tournament. I think I have enough for 35 packs now. So that's going to be a lot of fun when that comes out. I can actually get a good portion of the set complete. I have the best arena story. So, I tend to play arenas and then not pay attention and then go get really low wins. Like, when I kind of try, I usually get like 7 on average. But, so I was watching a podcast, and I was talking to someone in my house, and I was making my move as a paladin in arena.
Holy
Easiest
shit.
move in my life, right? It's supposed to, like, they have a full board, and they have one of their cards is a Noyatron, so they have Divine Shield and Taunt on it, so I have to attack that before I can do anything. So, in my hand, I have Consecration, not Humility, what's the Equality, and I have another Equality. I have double Quality Consecration in my hand. I'm like, and I have a 7/7 minion on the board or something. So I'm like, okay, the play is I Consecration hit, I hit a Quality Consecration, because that clears his board and it keeps my minion as a 7/1. But what I did, because I was really, really confused, and I wasn't really paying attention, was I quality'd, traded, consecrated, so I accidentally killed my minion, and then I quality'd again, instead of playing a 2-drop. So, not only did I lose my 7 drop, my 7 attack minion, I also burned both my qualities, and then I just exited out of Hearthstone, and I haven't played since. That was like 3 days ago. I was so embarrassed. I'm like, this is the easiest play. I could have had so much tempo. I drafted in that arena run. I had 2 consecrations, 2 quality, so I had those like crazy board clears. And then I messed it up. And I was so mad at myself. And it's bad. But other than me being bad at Hearthstone,
life is hard.
Much other WoW universe Warcraft games things.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I am too.
But you couldn't escape the Legion hype at your even if when you're trying to, like, it just kind of creeps
or all
in.
The cards for TGT.
Yeah, I don't know. That kind of fell off the radar for me because I've been so excited for Legion, and I don't know. They keep trying to throw Grand Tournament stuff in front of me. I'm like, no, not right now. Like, your time will come.
Hey, I'm trying to deal with this Legion shit.
Yeah, like, I'm trying to consume as much of this as possible. I've been rewatching streams and dev talks and just, like, all about it. I don't have time in my brain for Hearthstone right now. Yeah. But, hey, speaking of room for Hearthstone in my brain, Hillman.
Yeah.
You want to talk about not Hearthstone and want to talk about WoW or something? Like, what'd you do this week?
Yeah, I totally didn't play really any Hearthstone at all. I haven't played Hearthstone or Heroes of the Storm in quite a long time. It's a little bit sad because I like those games. I really enjoy them. But I don't know. I've been playing mostly Rocket League actually because, God, that game is so much fun.
Oh my God.
It's like addictive, man. I can't stop. Guys. But I did play a little bit of World of Warcraft. I want to level up my Death Knight to 100. He used to be level cap back when Mist was current, and haven't really touched him this expansion. So I've been leveling up my Death Knight. He's 92, I think.
Oh, that's not so bad.
Yeah, so I'm taking my time doing that. I don't really care if he gets to 100 or not, but because I'm probably still going to main my Shaman. But yeah, I've also decided I want to level all of the healers, so I also started leveling a priest, and I got to 60 something, which was pretty good. And And then I got bored because it's disc, and disc is boring. Man, disc is so boring.
Disc is boring, really?
Yeah, I don't know how anybody plays priest. It's really boring. I mean, basically what you do is you run around and power word shield everybody in your raid or your dungeon, in my case, and then wait until your cooldowns are up, and then you power word shield again. Like, that's really all you do, and honestly, there's another spell, I think it's Denounce, or, no, that's not it. Renown, something like that. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But that's another healing spell, and you use that and Shadow or Powered Shield, and that's it. That's like your entire rotation, basically. So I'm sure it's way more fun at level cap, but right now I'm just running through dungeons and being like, this healing is so boring. But it's okay. I don't know if I really want to play priest. I've mostly been leveling different healers because I want to see if any of the other ones are better than Shaman, because I've been playing Shaman for so long. So I have Druid. I have a Druid. I have multiple Druids, actually. I have a Monk that I've been trying to level, Mistweaver. So, yeah, lots of different characters that I've been playing. But mostly Rocket League, because hell yeah.
Because soccer with cars is surprisingly fun.
Because soccer with cars!
It's pretty great. Also, like, how ridiculous you can make your cars look is just... It just makes that game much more fun.
Sports games are dumb.
You know, I agree.
It's almost not a sports game, though.
100%, but this one is just so different. It's in a different vein, man. I don't know. It's almost like how those really off the wall sports games were, like
NBA Jams?
Street.
Wait, what was that?
NBA Street. And that was the one where like you like could run off walls and shit and like punch people and like shoulder them and crap like that. Or like Slugfest, MLB Slugfest. That was a good time too.
Was that MLB or NBA Jams? Is that?
Maybe.
Isn't that one?
I think there were also similar stuff like that. Yeah.
It was crazy basketball.
They're just ridiculous.
Jump like 30 feet in the air.
Yeah, those are good times, man. Yeah, but hey, I'm gonna talk about my week really quick before we move on.
Do it.
I played a little bit of everything. Played some Hearthstone. I just am not really kind of getting into this particular season. I went in, I logged in, and it was like, hey, you're starting at 22. I'm like, all right, cool, like whatever. I deserve this. That's fine. I haven't really been playing a lot of ladder. I logged in to play some Tavern Brawl, get the pack and stuff like that, and like hang out. But I think I'm really just waiting for TGT to like launch, and then I'll probably be motivated to play more intensely and with more purpose. But until then, I'm just kind of treading water, interest wise. And my time is going elsewhere. And I did play a singular game of Here's the Storm, and it was actually a few hours ago. I didn't have a good time. I lost, but it was fine. I mean, my team just sucked. I think that stealth mechanics are a little bit unbalanced right now, especially if you don't have a team that knows what to look for. Like, I can see the shimmers now. I'm really well attuned to that stuff, and some particle effects fuck with me, especially when I'm playing Mecha Tassadar. But other than that, I mean, I'm that's not really grabbing my attention right now. I also haven't played Leoric yet. I really should get in there and give him a shot. That would be the thing to get me back into that game right now, would be a new character kind of romp around with. But I have been playing World of Warcraft this week.
Nice.
Quite a bit. I have been. I made a decision when the expansion was announced that since all of my friends that I want to like play and seriously raid with are saying, nah, we gonna play Horde, I'm like, fine. I'm gonna play a Blood Elf Demon Hunter, and I'm going to raid with that character when the expansion comes out. But until then, and then also during that time, I want to have a PvP character, and what better class to PvP with than Rogue? And since my raiding character is going to be Horde, I'm going to play a human Rogue Alliance. So on our Alliance server on Warsong, I rolled a human Rogue, and I've been playing him, and he's like, I want to say 43-ish. I've just been doing a couple of dungeons every night. And when I was doing some questing in between as well, I engaged in a little bit of world PvP. Just, people that were trying to fuck around and mess with other people of my faction while they're trying to, do the gathering quests and stuff and Stranglethorn Vale. And I'm like, nah, and shivved him and one-shot him because subtlety is awesome. So I'm having a really good time with that. Good job, World of Warcraft, for getting me back in there. I haven't really just like strongly or strictly PvP'd with a character at max level before, so this would be kind of a new venture for me. And since they're going to be overhauling the honor system, I think it'd be kind of cool to have one foot in there, as well as, you know, progression and rating and leveling and PvE stuff in general with the Demon Hunter. And I would really like to also live stream a lot of stuff during expansion launch day, Matt Hillman, with you about Demon Hunters and stuff. Like maybe we can make Demon Hunters together. I think that'd be a good time. But yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff with WoW that I'm more excited about than anything else right now. It's pretty much the summary of what I've been talking about.
Chris, after I get off my league binge to try to catch up to Nick Cooper at Diamond, you're going to teach me how to become a good PvP player along with Matt Hillman, because PvP was always my favorite part about WoW.
PvP is just so hard. Oh man,
It
so much
starts
fun, though.
and ends with class choice.
But no, honestly though, it's like I enjoyed it even though I was bad at it, which was weird.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
WoW PvP is really great because it's like it feels like on the surface level it looks like a chess match. You know, who pops their trinkets first? Who gets out of these other things? But there are ways to manipulate that field such that it feels like a dynamic experience, because there's so many things to cast and do now. That didn't used to be the case, but now your hotbar is full of situational choices that you just have to use correctly.
Yeah, and I really, really like what they're doing with PvP in the next expansion, so I'm probably going to start doing a lot more PvP.
Cool. You guys should do Alliance PvP though with me, because that's where I'll be.
Yeah.
That's where I'll be. So
Have fun.
okay. I mean, humans are the best
All on
PvP
your
race,
own.
so have fun
Well,
with your
yeah,
blood
but in
rage
arenas,
or
that doesn't matter.
whatever.
Okay, you're 100% playing human because you like to identify with your fantasy world character, Nick. I mean, Chris,
But
that's literally the...
Yeah, but every man for himself is the best PvP
If
racial.
you liked human, you just play Call of Duty.
That's a really bad analogy. I hate you guys so much. All right, so
Do you not remember that? That was This Week in Trade
No.
Chat from a while ago.
yeah, I remember.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Let's move on to other things that I hate, which is in the news. The one thing I don't like is this new time walking event that's the 14th through the 17th. So if y'all are a patron, you're going to be hearing this and you've got 24 hours to go do it. And if you're not, you might have like 12 or something like that to go and do these things. But
Yeah.
why would you? Because this week's time walking event is Burning Crusade again, which means you can go and recount your epic, heroic whatever you were doing in the Alcatraz, the Black Morass, Mana Tombs, the Shattered Halls, and the Slave Pens. Because who doesn't want to go back to Mana Tombs again? This is not the first time this is the time walking event. We did this, I think, a month ago. Or 2 months ago or something like that. I don't want to do these dungeons. I don't want to do them. Don't make me. I know that the reward is great, but don't make me do Mana Tombs again.
Nobody's going to make you do anything, Chris.
I don't want Matt. No, I don't wanna. Yeah, you have to be
Dude,
level 71 or
Mana Tombs
higher.
is so bad.
And then, yeah, Mana Tombs is pretty bad. Space Mummies, though, they're pretty neat. Yeah. I'm just not about those things. You know, I leveled up past them. They had their time. And they should just go back and fade into transmog runs and stuff like that. So the only satisfaction I get back in going back and doing these older dungeons is that now I stomp them. So for them to be scaled, I'm kind of like, ugh.
Yeah.
It's just not fun. It was cool the first time, but I wouldn't want to repeat and do it again. Yeah.
Last time I did the Black Morass, and I had no fun.
Yeah, it's an interesting.
And then I gave up because I was like, this is stupid.
It
So,
takes a lot
there
of
you go.
time because there's a lot of set pieces and events that happen in that one too.
I know.
Yeah. So, and I don't want to step on any toes, but Frost, do you want to talk about the Hearthstone cards?
Yeah.
Let's
So
do
now
that.
we have... Yeah. I linked it to you guys if you wanted to follow along. But, so we now know all 132 cards of the new expansion, and a lot of them are good, a lot of them are bad. Some questionable things about the power creep in Hearthstone cards, some interesting legendaries, some new mechanics, all that fun stuff. I want to talk about a couple maybe legendaries. I think those are the most fun to talk about always. Maybe a couple of new mechanics. We'll see how this goes. But like some of the legendaries that they released, I honestly think are already auto-included in some decks. And some of them are like, this legendary can make a new genre, a new version of that deck. So, I mean, like, if you look at, for example, the Druid legendary, Aviana,
Ooh.
like, 9 mana, 5/5, so really, really bad stats, but her text is, your minions now cost 1. So, like, the immediate combo that went to my head thinking about this card was, turn 10, you play Aviana for 9 mana, everything in your hand now costs 1, and then you play Kel'Thuzad. You win the game.
Yep.
You literally win the game. Like, they have to clear both minions, or they have to silence one, then clear the other. Like, I don't even know how you deal with that. Like, it makes Ramp Druid way more fun than I could even imagine. Like, oh, it's so good.
Yeah, you say that, but now imagine playing Aviana and Kel'Thuzad on turn 6
Oh, with
with
double
Innervate,
Innervate?
double Innervate. Yeah, that's just ridiculous.
But yeah, like there's a crazy amount of legendaries. The new Shaman, I think Shaman. Most people could agree that Shaman was kind of like one of the weakest classes due to RNG. RNG is not a thing that you want associated with your main class. But the new Shaman legendary, I honestly think could make the class just that much better. It's called the Mistcaller. 6 mana, 4/4, so pretty bad stats. But the battle cry on this card is, you give all your minions in your hand and your deck plus 1/1. So you play this card turn 6, and now every single minion in your deck and your hand has plus 1 stats on it. Therefore, every single card in your deck is now above its mana cost, like worth of stats. And you now, if you play this turn 6, you probably win the game because all your cards are better than their cards, which is an interesting thing in the game. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, it seems too good to be true, almost.
Mistcaller, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I was looking at this card the other day. 6 mana, 4/4, all minions in hand and deck +1/+1. Yeah, that's weird.
It sounds
It's a
really, really strong.
Well, how would that...
Sounds really strong. Yeah.
Murloc Shaman?
Murloc Shaman was a thing before.
Yeah,
It wasn't
Would it
very
be-
good though.
Would it be a thing again if you can get this? I mean, I guess by turn 6 you should probably have a firm grasp on your on your victory.
Well,
or your strategy by that
It
point in
doesn't give
time.
any of the minions on the board +1/+1.
Right, but you
Yeah.
hold them in hand until you get them, and you're just throwing up other things like to deter them up until turn 6, and then just hope, I guess, that you draw this. I don't.
I mean,
know.
I guess Shaman
I don't
got
know.
a lot of new cards that are good. Like Elemental Destruction is deal 4 to 5 damage to all minions on board. Like, that's a new clear for them. They got Healing Wave, which is restore 7 health, but if you Joust, what Joust is the new mechanic where you reveal a card from both people's decks, and if yours costs more mana, then you get an extra effect. In the Joust, you restore 14 health, which is literally half your health bar. So I mean, like, you can stall out the game to get actually Mistcaller off, and then start actually drawing cards and actually out-tempoing them.
Okay.
I don't know. I think it's a really interesting card.
No, it definitely is.
Yeah.
And we keep saying this for all these different cards. It'll be we'll have to see what people do with it because it's kind of hard to theory craft too much.
Yeah, and the one other legendary that I think might change the game a lot is Valorant. I can't pronounce the
Varian
Rin.
I said Valorant. Oh god.
I am so excited for
He's
this
the king
card.
of Stormwind.
Oh my god, this means
10
we can
mana.
talk about him in Card of
Hold
the
on.
Week. Oh!
But not this week, guys.
10 mana, 7/7, battle cry, draw 3 cards, put any minions you drew directly into the battlefield. So
Oh
I
my
mean,
god. Oh
you
my
play like a
God.
Giants warrior deck, or you just play your regular warrior deck that runs like 8 legendaries, and if you hit any minions, you probably win the game.
It's just good
Yeah.
draw too, Like, it's just really
Exactly.
good draw.
Like, if you look at Ancient of Lore, which is 7 mana, 5/5, and you draw 2 pretty well all the time with it, this is you draw an extra card, and then you also get to put minions into play, and it's
But
2 more stats.
This is bolstering some like weird warrior decks. It's making it's not good in patron decks because you need like certain effects
Yeah.
and like combos and stuff like that. So this is bolstering basic
More
like
control warrior.
weapon warrior, control warrior, stuff like that. Yeah,
I don't know, I think
That's
there's a lot of
cool.
cool cards, though.
that's really
That's
cool.
one of my favorites, though.
Yeah,
They added a ton of really cool neutral ones too. I think are
Yeah.
cool.
The one other set of legendaries I want to get your opinions on, at least. If you look at the Hunter legendaries, so there's one legendary released for every single class, but Hunter
Yeah.
has 2. And they're
And they're
very,
both
very
really weird.
Yeah. one of them is a 3-mana 4/2. That at the end of your turn deal 1 damage to all other minions. That's called Dread Scale. So I mean, it's not terrible. It's kind of like a really weak clear, I guess. It's kind of like shitty Baron Geddon. But like then the other Hunter Legendary is a 7-mana 4/2, and it's called Acid Maw. And whenever another minion takes damage, destroy it. So I mean, first of all, that doesn't make sense.
When are you ever gonna play a 7-mana 4/2?
But
Like ever?
The weird part is the cards seem very, very. They seem like they work in unison. You know what I mean? They cost 10 mana if you play them together, right? They both have the same stats, so obviously they're meant to kind of be played together. And when you play them together, pretty well every single time Dread Scale procs so 1 damage to every other minion, it destroys every minion on the field because of Acid Maw effect.
Yeah, and I get that, but I don't see it working. Like, why would you? Okay, first off, if you're playing mid-range Hunter, turn 10...
you have to play a different type of deck.
Yeah, I mean, it would be something totally different than we have.
You have to play Control Hunter or something.
Yeah, that's really strange. I don't know. I don't know how this is going to work.
They obviously have to be played together because you'd never use one of them without the other. Because like Dread Scale
I don't know.
is bad by itself.
I think maybe Dread Scale would be okay by itself.
But I don't see when you like it's like mini Baron Geddon, but like no Hunter card synergizes with that card. Whereas like Acid Maw synergizes with it, but you'd never play Acid Maw by itself because it's 7 mana 4/2, which it can die to 1-drops, right? So I mean. You have to literally play them as a turn 10 combo, I think.
Yeah, you do.
It's good.
It's just a 10 mana board clear.
It clears them until you can clear, which I mean, it's pretty easy to clear them. I don't know, it's interesting. I've never seen them release 2 legendaries like this that are obviously they synergize, but they're both for one class. I'm curious if you like unlock one of them, you get the other one. I would like that because I couldn't see either of them being played alone. I would like if like you crafted or drew one of them, you drew the other. Like, I mean, not drew, but if you unlocked it from a pack, right? I really hope that's the way that it works.
I doubt
I wouldn't want to
that's the
spend
case.
3k dust on 2 of them.
I doubt that's the case. But yeah,
I doubt it also.
There's obviously some sort of end game to them introducing these, and we haven't seen all the cards yet, so I don't know.
But first expansion.
This is all of them?
132.
Oh, that is. All right, well then I'm lost.
Yeah, like all the new Hunter cards are like beast cards. Like give this beast an immunity for the turn. If you have a beast on the field, summon a random beast. But none of them still synergize with these 2 cards. Like, of course they're beast cards, but
I mean, maybe
understand.
It's just like because Hunters don't have board clear at all. So maybe this is just giving them a really roundabout way to do that.
I think it's like more like we need to introduce 10 new Hunter cards, and none of them can do face damage. Let's use beast synergy. Like,
okay.
It's the same thing as Mage. Like, every new Mage card, none of them are going to do face damage. All of them, like, target minions and stuff, because you don't want...
But Ronan...
Well, I mean, it gives you that, like, can randomly target face. But you know what I mean? Like, if you look at Flamelands, it targets minions. Arcane Blast targets minions. There's one more that targets minions. You know what I mean? Like, they're obviously trying to reshape some decks. Like, oh, you don't have to play OTK Mage. Oh, you don't have to play Face Hunter. Oh, you don't have to play Combo Druid. You can play, like, Beast Druid or something, which I like. I like them giving more options, because instead of having these decks that you're like, when you think of Hunter, you think of Face Hunter. When you think of Mage, you think of, like, Freeze Mage or just, like, a Spell Mage. But now it's like, you can play a Beast Hunter, or you can play a Beast Druid, or you can play a Control Mage. So I like them adding more class variants. And I'm sure within a couple of weeks of the set being released, we'll start to see, like, new types of decks pop up, and they're going to be fun to experiment with.
Man, some of these cards are just awesome. Like, Mage looks like so much fun now. Mage looks
it's
so
really
great.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, I'm really hyped looking at these, because I've been trying to turn a blind eye to it, because the spoilers, like, while they're from an official place, are still kind of spoilers for me, and now I'm just looking at all these, like, things I've missed the past, like, week and a half. Oh boy. Murloc Knight? Yo, what up, dog? He seemed
one
really,
new
really
Murloc
neat.
in the set, boys.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, that's cool. I was hoping for more pirates, but I guess
there's a lot of rogue pirates.
Yeah, but
there's some pirates in here. You got Captain Crag and
Buccaneer,
some other ones. Yeah, Buccaneer.
Yeah, it's mainly pirate cards. It seems like they want pirate rogue to be a thing. They want beast druid and beast hunter to be a thing. They're kind of like putting these types into certain decks, which I kind of like. It's interesting. You can start. Card. I think people could start playing pirate rogue eventually. Honestly, it'd be really cool.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah,
cool. Any other cards you'd like to highlight before we move on? Because we're going to highlight one later.
Highlight one more mechanic really quick, which I'm not going to go over any cards, like, really, but I think the idea of having a Warlock mechanic of, for example, if you look at Fist of Jaraxxus, when you play this card or discard this, deal 4 damage to a random enemy, or there's another card which is, sorry, where's the other, trying to see the other card where, whenever you discard something, you get an effect. It's just cool. They're trying to make a new effect with Warlock, so you get value whenever you discard cards, which is kind of interesting, because that's always been a negative effect.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's just really cool. I like them adding new stuff like that. It'd be fun to play around with. That's pretty well
Absolutely.
it,
though. All right, cool. The next little piece of news, thanks, Frost, is there was an announcement, or like a sneak peek, upcoming Pets and Mounts sneak peek. We're bringing this back to WoW really quick. And these guys aren't named yet on the post. They just put up a bunch of really pictures that you can go see, and I'll put the link to this post in the show notes. But Matt, if you want to look at it too, they put up some really interesting things, and you can probably help me suss out what a couple of these guys are. Obviously, one of them is a Murloc Illidan. That's really cool, like a Demon Hunter Murloc.
Yeah, it is.
There's a legitimate Fel puppy pet. He looks really, really, really cute. And then there's...
kind of looks like a baby druid in cat form, kind of.
Oh no, I was talking about the Fel Hunter puppy that was right below the
on the left,
the Demon Hunter Murloc.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
okay, gotcha.
Yeah, but yeah, going up to the purple little cat guy, little scroll on the back, some sort of night elf related thing. I'm not quite sure, but he or she is pretty cute. And then below that, it's weird.
Yeah.
Is that a Lich or is that an Archon from StarCraft 2? I can't tell.
I don't know, but I've definitely seen it before.
Yeah, it looks like a cross between the two. But it looks more spacey, so I think it is a StarCraft 2 pet. Just to be, I guess, a little bit different. But the two new mounts, one on the left, I'm assuming is it'd be a mistake if it wasn't a Warlock exclusive, because I think that would be really, really neat. But it's a Fel Hunter steed. Like, it's a horse that looks
really cool
and stylized just like a Fel Hunter. Yeah, it looks fucking awesome. And then to the right of that, the last one is a moose.
It's a moose!
It's a moosey moose, and it looks awesome. The eyes are blue. He's got some runes going on his antlers. He looks really, really sick. I'm pretty hyped for that. Probably the most.
The Canada
out of all
exclusive,
these.
actually.
Hopefully, yeah, just like those Tauren cosmetics. That'd be awesome, right? Cool. And then in Heroes of the Storm news, we got a weekly sale. Lily is now $1.99. Festival Lily skin is only $5 right now, $4.99. And Succubus Kerrigan, probably the coolest skin there if you like WoW related things. She's $3.74 this week. And then the last little bit of Hearthstone news is that the America's Championship is coming to Las Vegas in Nevada. And that's about it. And then they talk about the format for the North America Open and stuff like that. And we're not going to go through this whole thing, but it's just confirmed for Las Vegas. It's going to be in the convention center. And then I'm assuming they're going to televise in some sort of big way. But yeah, we'll put a link to this post that they have if you want to read it and get some details. There's also a way for you to book your room and stuff like that on here as well. And a phone call to call for reservations. But yeah, go take a look at that if that's something you're interested in. And if not, I don't know what to tell you. Just ignore it. Yeah, maybe.
Sure.
Cool. It's talking about competitive.
So you were already mentioning this a little bit, but Heroes of the Storm, we're talking about the America's Championship. Two of the teams that are going to be there are going to make it in because of the North America Open in August. That's taking place the next couple weeks here, so take a look at that. It's just another Heroes of the Storm tournament, so more people playing Heroes. And then the Archon League Championship is still happening. Nihilum, Valuetown, Temple Storm, and Cloud9 are all in first at 4-2, so it's pretty tight now. Archon and Forzen Boys are 3-3, Liquid is 2-4, and Celestials is still in last place with 0 wins and now 6 losses.
They're still picking up games, though, like in the sets. Like, they're not just losing every single game. They're just not winning any sets. You know what I mean? They're just winning.
Yeah, and I mean, you have to win 6, so it's kind of like, it's pretty difficult. But they're still hanging in there. They're still coming to all the days they have to play. So
Yeah, my boys at Tempo Storm though. Oh my god, dude! These last 2 weeks, like last week they played Team Liquid, and they went 6-1 or 6-2, I believe. And this week they played someone. I don't know who they played. I can't remember. No, they played Nylum this week, and they went 6-3. So they've been playing super super well. So thank God. I need that team to do well. Oh, and one more Heroes of the Storm thing that I think we should have mentioned. We probably should have mentioned on LeagueCast too, but I completely forgot. Forgiven the AD carry of Gambit, previously of Copenhagen Wolves, he has pretty well switched over to Heroes of the Storm.
Wow.
He's not sure if he's going to continue with Heroes of the Storm, but he pretty well said he made a post on Heroes of the Storm doing an AMA. He's like, hey, I've been playing this game for about 5 days now. I just hit rank 1 in Heroes League. Is there anything else I should know about this game? Is there any opportunities I can have? Stuff like that. So, I mean, I'm not sure if he's actually seriously considering it, but that guy is good at every single game he plays. I swear to God, he's like top rank when he played CSGO. He's top rank in Heroes of the Storm. Like, he's played it for like 5 days. It's crazy. I hope he like sticks with some game. Like, the guy is definitely good at video games.
No, I kind of like the fact that he's floating around. I think it's interesting.
I think he needs like a solo type game though, like StarCraft or something like that.
Yeah,
Doesn't like playing with teams.
That'd be really awesome. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
anything that's it for competitive stuff?
I believe
Nito,
so.
Magneto. Hey, we talked about the Grand Tournament legendaries a little bit earlier, but we're going to talk about one in particular, right? Meow. And it's Anub Arak, who is our card of the week this week. Boys, do your thing. Dissect this card. Talk about it in the realm of Hearthstone. Yeah. Make up a story or piece together what you already know, and then I'll tell you what you got right and why you're wrong.
I gotta tell you, first of all, I avoided this card because I wanted to talk about it here, because I'm excited for this card. It kind of looks like a weird card for a rogue deck, because it's a 9-mana, 8/4 rogue card, and its Death Rattle is return this minion to your hand and summon a 4/4 Nerubian. So it's kind of like a control-ish card. So the only real rogue deck currently in the meta is Oil Rogue. So the only way this card's going to be played is if like there's more of a control rogue type deck. And I honestly think with the new cards in TGT, Control Rogue is going to be a really, really, really good deck. And therefore this card is going to be a staple in it. Because if you think about it, if every single turn you're dropping this card, they have to clear it because it has 8 damage. If they don't clear it, they're going to take a ton of damage. And every single time they clear it, they have to deal with a 4/4 egg. And then you get to play it the turn after also. So, I mean, this card is so sticky. It is, I don't know, I think it's really, really good. Matt, do you have any different opinions on it, or?
I mean, I think it's pretty good. The only thing is we've never really seen a control rogue, so based on what they currently have, they really don't have the cards for it. With the addition of all the TGT cards, it's possible. But I don't know if this is really going to synergize. I like what they're doing with Hearthstone, how they're adding in new things that you don't think are going to be good simply because they don't match what the typical meta of the game is. So I do like that. I could see this being played, but I don't know. We'll see.
You also have to look at it from like a couple weeks after TGT. The meta will probably still be a fairly aggro meta because people are learning the cards, trying to find optimal decks.
Yeah.
But if you look at the entire set of TGT cards, there is a lot of taunts. There is a lot of big bodies. There's a lot like low damage big body cards. The aggro classes didn't get any more aggro cards. They all got control cards. So I mean, probably within like a couple months, the game is going to slow down a lot. And I think Control Rogue will then start to shine. And I honestly think if Control Rogue does become a thing, this will be a staple. And I think it's super, super cool.
Yeah, I agree that if you could make a Control Rogue deck, this is probably a really good card to have. The only thing is that it has 4 health. So that's like, I don't know, if you silence it, then you can kill it with a 4-drop. So, I don't know, maybe.
But if you can't, every single turn you just play it over and over again, and it's just annoying.
Yep, that is true. Returning it to your hand is really, really interesting because, again, you have to play it every turn. So you're basically using your entire turn to play a new Barak. So I see some downsides, but I do see that it has potential.
If
I agree.
If he had charge, this would be awesome.
No, if he had charge, he would be broken. He would be so
a 15 mana card.
I'm just be a 15 mana card. You're right though. Okay. All right, so that's his viability, or our theory of his viability for Hearthstone. But boys, bring it in. Tell me about this guy. What's he like?
I'm gonna start off with saying we don't have any flavor text. We don't have any attack noises or anything like that.
I can give you some quotes from WoW, and instead I'll give you like one or two.
All I know about this card is he's like the leader, or like was the leader, or like is important within like Nerubians and all those like spider thingies. They're not even spider thingies, but he's a leader. I'll give
you two. Okay, I'll give you two quotes. Okay. All right. Okay, one is a couple of sentences, and another one is just another sentence. It talks about it basically gives you an idea about his temperaments, okay? All right, the Nerubian race. Yes, then the Master came. As his influence spread, we made war upon him, foolishly believing we stood a chance. Many of us were slain and raised into undeath. In life I was a king, today I am a crypt lord. That's one. And the second one is agreed implies choice. Go for it. The first one gives you a lot of context.
What I know is that, and I don't know this for sure because I've only done this a couple times, but I'm relatively certain that this has something to do with the Wrath of the Lich King expansion somewhere in Northrend. I think Naxxramas, but I could be wrong because there's spiders in Naxxramas, and he reminds me of a spider, so I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. He's a Spidey.
There's a spider quarter, but I don't think he's actually a boss in that spider quarter.
There's another thing in Hearthstone. The boss, it was like another one of him, like another bigger version of him.
Nerubian.
Oh yeah, was he in Naxxramas?
Yeah, I forgot what his name was. So it's like the same thing, but another like not prefix, but like the ending of his name is different.
Oh yeah. Oh man, maybe I'm thinking of someone else then. I don't know for sure.
There's a spider wing in Nax because like you also get Nerubian egg and the Nerubian from it.
Was it a Nubricon?
A Nubricon, yeah.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, I know almost nothing about this guy. I don't know. I mean,
he's a leader,
big
though,
bug.
of Nerubians, I think.
Okay.
Descending from the shadows, he was Bug Lord, and all the bugs bowed to him. And then one day, he was like, oops, stepped on my cousin.
And now, because of that, the fallout from that is what?
Nothing. He's the Bug Lord. They all bowed to him.
He's the Bug Lord. Okay.
Yeah, he's upset because he stepped on his cousin, but in the long run, it doesn't really matter because he's got like hundreds of thousands of cousins because they're fucking bugs. Get it?
No, this is true. Okay.
I don't know. I'm making things up now.
Yeah, no, I thought you were making things up from the get-go. So
yeah, isn't he? Shut up.
This is part of the fun. Is that what you guys got? So what are the key points? There was something like him in Naxxramas. You don't think it was him, but it's something like him.
A Nubricon.
A Nubricon. Yep, and he is a Nerubian. You guys outlined that. He was a king. Beatles. Yeah, he was a king, and he one day he stepped on. He killed. Let's just say he killed a fellow Nerubian, but it wasn't a big deal. And also that he has something to do with the Wrath of the Lich King expansion, right?
Yeah, sure.
These are the key points, right?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay.
Hold on.
Oh, no, okay.
I found a quote from the Hearthstone lore here.
Oh.
Never mind, that doesn't really help me. It just like talks about like a Nubricon, and then his commander is a Nubarak.
Yes.
So
they're kind of like in the same position, kind of, sort of.
No, his most loyal commander was a Nubricon.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. All right, cool. So, neat. That was actually you guys gave that the old college try, and you guys got somewhere. He was primarily from the Wrath of the Lich King expansion, which means he has to do with Northrend, which, I mean, you know that means that we're going to go back and talk a little bit about Arthas, right? And about Northrend and Ner'zhul, Lich King, stuff like that. So there was a point in time in Northrend, like before we know in WoW time, called the Spider War, and it was like War of the Spider. It was like a 10-year struggle that when Arthas started to take up refuge in Northrend, in Icecrown, the Nerubians that were native to that area gave him a really hard time because they were immune to the plague of undeath that the Scourge brought in, right? And so the plague of undeath is the thing that they would spread. It would kill living beings, and then they would come back as zombies, right, from the plague itself. But they didn't die from this plague. It didn't kill them. And then they were also immune to mind domination because they were already a hive mind. So they didn't listen to an outside force. They listened to an inside force already. So that stuff didn't work on them, which is super interesting, right? It makes a lot of sense. So what the Scourge and Arthas did find out, though, is that the corpses of these Nerubians were not immune to reanimation and resurrection into the Scourge. So that was a way for them to work around this thing and then bring them under their command. So during the War of the Spider, the end of it was basically when a bunch of Scourge commanders and stuff went in, collapsed a bunch of tunnels, killed a shit ton of them. And then one of the people that were killed during the War of the Spider was Anub Arak, who is the former king of Azul Nerub, which is like the main spider kingdom that's underneath Northrend. So yeah, he gets killed there, and then Ner'zhul, the Lich King before Arthas, raised the High Lords of the Spider Kingdom as undead to do his bidding, Anub-Arak among them. Alright, so, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that Arthas was in Icecrown. He wasn't. It was still Ner'zhul who was the Lich King before this. So, that being said then, and when he was raised, he was then considered a Crypt Lord. That's kind of like the class that they gave his race as a Nerubian, as he was raised into the Scourge, right? So then he like travels around with Kel'Thuzad throughout Azul Nerub while he's under this mind dominance and stuff from Ner'zhul, and then he then meets up with Arthas, who saves him from an attack by Blood Elves, because like he's technically like one of Ner'zhul's allies now, because he's Ner'zhul's trying to call to Arthas to bring him in as the new Lich King. And then he introduces himself to Arthas and tells him of Ner'zhul's plans, and then Anub-Arak helps Arthas to establish a base, and then masterminds the attack on the blue dragon Sapphiron, who you see later in that expansion if you pay attention. And then Anub-Arak gets Arthas. He says, "Hey man, it's going to take us way too long to fight through Kael'thas and Vash." Because those two are there with Illidan at this point in time. Like, this is the fight for the Frozen Throne. Illidan is still around. Like, this is before Outland and stuff like that. Like, he's, like... So, if you've ever seen any fan art of Illidan and Arthas facing off, that actually happens. Lore-wise, that actually happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this
Doesn't that happen in Warcraft 3?
Yes, it does. Yes, this is like the story around Warcraft 3. So this is pre-WoW. It's really, really cool. So then Anub-Arak leads Arthas through the Ruined Spider Kingdom, negating many perilous traps along the way, but all the while he fights with his former subjects, the Nerubians are still living, and they call him the Traitor King for serving the Lich King, and they all hate him and stuff like that. And so then they encounter like survivors of Muradin's expedition, and then they encounter the Faceless Ones. That's important because he references it in the WoW lore when you are doing like these dungeons and you see them. They're basically the big standing mind elephants, if you know what I'm talking about. Do you know what I'm talking about, Matt?
Not really.
The dudes with like the trunks and shit and like the tentacle hands. If you saw them, you'd know exactly what I'm talking about.
I don't know. I don't know based on your description. Maybe I would if I saw them.
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, if you saw them, you definitely recognize them. But anyway, so they get through and they have like, you know, a story together, and like an earthquake separates them, but they find them, and Anub-Arak's like, "Oh, you survived and didn't die to traps while I was gone," and then ushers him to the surface and stuff like that. And then he helps him take Icecrown Pinnacle. Very, very interesting character. And then after that, he becomes, you know, like a dungeon boss. He's in the Trial of the Crusader raid. He's super, super interesting. He's also the Heroes of the Storm character, so if you want to get your hands on actually playing him for something, you can play him there. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Kind of like a shorter, condensed version of his lore. He's a pivotal character that doesn't get a lot of limelight ever. And he's interesting. Nerubians in general are a very kind of like underrated race.
Yeah, you don't hear about them all that often, but when you do, it's like, oh shit, they've infested everything.
They're super, super interesting. Yeah, they're kind of akin to the Scourge, except they pretty much like kept to themselves a lot. there wasn't a lot of, like, before Northrend and before the Scourge stuff, like, they were up there and, like, leaving everybody else alone. I think, like, necromancers and, like, warlocks and shit kind of dealt with them a little bit. But other than that, they didn't really mess with people until they became part of the Scourge. So, yeah, he's classified as chaotic evil now. So I think it kind of implies a sense of free will and freedom now that he's, like, he was friends with Arthas during the expansion. He was doing his own thing. So, yeah, I mean, there's that. And that's it for a new Barak. Hey, Matt.
Sweet. Yeah.
Hey, man, what about that Gromash hold question we asked last week? What was it again?
That would be, what are you most excited about for Legion? Yeah, that's basically my my Legion noise. So we got an email, I think. This was an email, right?
It was, yes.
Okay, yeah. This is from Connor. He says he's most excited about everything, which is like, yeah, dude, us too. I know, hype, right? Professions are back. Emerald Nightmare. Being able to be a demon hunter. I mean, come on. And obviously getting rid of garrisons and getting people into the world. And I was like, yes, I'm so happy. So, yeah, we agree. Everything's exciting about this expansion. I don't know if I have a question for this week. I wanted to do a Hearthstone question, but I mostly didn't want to rain on Aiden's parade.
Whoa,
So,
that's cool.
I was thinking, how about this? Aiden and I are doing something special for this this release. Why don't we ask the Gromash hold question in that medium when we get there? Does that sound good?
Okay, that sounds fine. You gonna explain what the thing's gonna be, or is it gonna be a surprise?
Why isn't it just like something like what's your most anticipated card or anticipated new playstyle of a class or something like that?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna suggest.
That's basically what I was going for, but I didn't want to, like, again, rain on your parade.
That just sounds like you're not prepared.
Shut up. Maybe I wasn't prepared. Anyway, the main point is Aiden and I are going to do something for the grand tournament. We're going to record it tonight, and I don't know when it's going to be out there, but it's going to be in a video format, right?
Yes?
Aiden, right, Aiden?
It sure is.
Perfect.
Boom!
Okay, cool.
So go check that out. We're going to post it on the Warfinch YouTube channel, maybe?
Boy, we have a Hearth YouTube channel. Yep.
That's
Okay,
probably
on
the best one to
Hearth
do it.
YouTube channel. So yeah, go check that out and then let us know what you think. Mostly what class? I guess how about this? What class are you most excited to play for the grand tournament once it's released? What class do you want to main after you get those cards in your hand, and why? Yeah.
Cool.
How about I ask you guys? Isn't that how it works?
That would be
this
smart,
is how
actually.
this works. It's almost like we haven't done this like forever.
Dude,
in
I
League
know.
I guess
Cast,
in League
so-
Cast I've done it.
I mean, it happens in League Cast, but I don't know, it's months. So, Aiden, how about you? What are you most excited to play?
I'm most excited to play Hunter. I want to make a lock and load Hunter deck. Lock and load being the 2-mana new Hunter spell, which is every single time you cast a spell, you get a random Hunter card. I want to build a Hunter deck all around lock and load. I think it might be meta. I think it might be one of the best Hunter decks out there. You play lock and load on like turn 7 or something. Use a bunch of like low mana spells, and you have a whole hand of like just random beasts and stuff, and you're like, this is good. I think that thing's gonna be meta. I think it's gonna be really good.
It might be meta, but I hate that it relies so much on RNG.
It's really good though. It's gonna be good.
No, that's fine. I'm just that's my only downside with that. But for myself,
Okay. Chris,
before
yeah.
you ask me, Matt Omen,
I was going to ask you next anyway, so go ahead.
Mage. I am so excited for Mage. Ronin is awesome. I love him as a character, but his card looks sick as fuck. Flame Lance looks awesome too. Just some strong ass removal for 5 mana, 8 damage to a minion. Oh, my lord. And then, I mean, the rest of the cards, like the Koldara Drake and stuff, like we saw a lot of really early on Mage cards that are really cool. Fallen Hero. Just the ping. I might have to buy the Medivh hero skin if I enjoy it enough, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to dedicate my time to crafting good Mage decks. It's going to add a lot of flexibility. It's filling out a lot of holes that were left behind as weaknesses in that class, and I'm just all the hype. I'm beside myself with hype, gentlemen. Yeah.
Oh boy,
It's really exciting. Matt, what about you?
I am in love with the new warrior cards, mostly Vari and Rin. Damn, draw 3 cards, put any minions you drew directly onto the battlefield. Oh, there's so much fun with that card. And I think it's the first card that costs 10 mana outside of the Giants.
And Deathwing. Deathwing and Sea Giant are the 2
Deathwing.
10 mana
Yes.
cards.
Yeah, so crazy, awesome, love it, want to try it out. Plus, I really like Warrior in this game. I played Armor Warrior for a while, and then I played Control Warrior, and then Patrons came out, so I played Patron Warrior. It's like, I just think Warrior is a cool class, so I'm really excited to play that again. Cool! Hey, you people listening. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Tony. Tony? Is there a Tony that listens?
There might be a Tony.
There might be. Hey, Tony, go hit us up on Facebook and Twitter. Do we have a Facebook and Twitter?
We have a Facebook and Twitter. You can like us on Facebook. Just search for The Hearth Podcast. And on Twitter, at Hearth Podcast. And then you can email responses to us at thehearthshow@gmail.com or leave us a voicemail with random stuff in it or responses to this question.
You know what, Jerry? Jerry, you're going to respond on Google Voice. That's 6814 Hearth. And you need to send us a voicemail so that we can listen to what you have to say about this new Hearthstone shit.
That'd be pretty cool. Or if you don't have letters on your dialing thing, you get 681-443-2784.
Yeah, Jerry's not the smartest guy. No.
Oh, maybe, I don't know. That's not shit talk about Jerry. Jerry's a cool dude, you know.
Okay, I like
some of these newer phones.
He doesn't have things on his. Yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah,
have
it's
the
not
letters
his fault. It's
numbers.
not a commentary on his intelligence.
No. It's his phone. His phone is too smart for the letters. It's a problem.
But what will be a commentary on our intelligence is something that Frost has prepared for us to do right now.
Yeah. So would we like to do the full set, or you just want to do a couple of them?
We'll just do a couple.
Okay, we'll do 3, because I have them broken up into 3s, okay? So we're going to do some Hearthstone trivia. This week we have the classic Matt Hillman versus Chris Puner.
Oh boy.
These ones are on the easy, difficult level. Actually, maybe I'll do one of easy, one of medium, one of hard, okay? That seems fair.
Sure.
And then whoever's the winner is the winner, okay? Deal?
Deal.
Yeah, you guys feel free to shout out your screens or your iPods and stuff, and yeah, do those answers too when you're listening. Anyways, question 1: you guys should ding in. You should go beep, and then I'll call you. Okay.
Okay. Like call me on the phone.
Yeah. So
are you gonna call me? Maybe.
Whoa! Let me read the goddamn question. What happens when you use Grazed Alchemist's battle cry on a 0-attack minion such as Doomsayer? Hillman, what happens?
Shit.
It dies.
Hillman is correct. That's 1 point to Matthew Hillman.
Oh,
I forgot to beep in.
Yeah.
You gotta beep in, Chris.
Okay, question 2 is medium difficulty. Is there a minion that can attack more than 2 times per turn, and what is it? Hillman, what is it?
It's a bunch of letters and numbers that kind of spell out Voltron, and
Matt knows it.
It's what's it called? Mega Wind Fury. It attacks 4 times in 1 turn.
Matt's got it.
But doesn't Alakir also do that?
No,
he attacks
he's
twice.
charge in Wind Fury.
Fuck.
So you would have been wrong.
That's true. No, you're right.
And we'll see the last one, even though Matthew Hillman's already the true winner. We're just going to go to the hard question.
I'll get this one too.
If I get this, it'll be 3 points.
No.
Damn
Don't be silly. Okay, both you and your enemy are at 1 HP with an empty board. You're all out of cards in the deck, and you take fatigue damage with the next card draw. You drop Knife Juggler, followed by a Novice Engineer. Who wins the game? Novice Engineer drops you cards, so who wins the game? Want me to repeat it one more time?
You
beep
ding.
Beep.
Let Chris try it.
Okay, Chris.
Beep. All right. So battle cries happen first before card effects. So you would die.
Matthew Hillman.
I'm gonna go with they have the same time, and you both. It's a draw.
It is a draw. The card draw resolves first, and the Knife Juggler triggers, and both the effects could do.
The Knife Juggler triggles.
Triggers. But yeah, both the effects do end up going off before the turn ends.
But which one goes first? Just for curiosity, they might
you card
both
draw first.
Okay, so I mean, the battle cry does happen first, just in the animation
You are
sequence
correct.
at the very least. Okay, all right. So yeah, but they both happen before like the end of like that chain of effects is resolved and the damage
Yes.
is dealt completely. Okay, all right. Well, that's neato,
That's
Magneto.
interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Cool.
so maybe we'll do that like once in a while because I have like a lot of those questions. So
Sure. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Okay, yeah, definitely. We would normally do emails here, but the email that we got was for Gromosh Hold, so we'll leave that one there. Just a reminder, again, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Hearth Podcast, email us at thehearthshow@gmail.com, and our Google Voice number for your awesome voicemails is 681-443-2784 or 681-4-HEARTH. And that's going to do it for us. Wait, hold on a second. I want to thank our two patrons, Andrew and Sargent. Thank you guys so much for supporting our show. And if you want to be a supporter and get a shout out and also get this show 24 hours early and a bunch of other really cool stuff, go to our Patreon page. It's patreon.com/thehearth and help support the show, even if it's just a penny, all the way up to whatever you can give. It means the world to us, and it helps us out big, big, big time. It lets us like do a bunch of other things, like expand our content range and pay for hosting fees that otherwise would come out of our pockets. So yeah, thanks for that ahead of time, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.
bye.
Oh, am I supposed to say something here? Bye.